able to see that discussion. So please, at any time, if you have a question, just mention me and type your question or whatever you want update in this channel here. If you have a problem and you need something that you don't want anyone else to see, it's okay to DM coaches, but generally it's better to have the discussion here. It will be better for everyone because sometimes you will find your answer here, and sometimes even you can search for the problem here and you can find like related posts or anything like that. Let's take a look at the first part we made in these sessions, which is the not this one, the mustache, right? So we made this part a while ago, you remember, and now we would just want to make other parts of the same library. Okay, so let's just do that. Okay, so this is the library. We have a head part here, we have an ear part, it's here, we have eye, cap. Don't export the cap, it needs some like more work. Just the basic stuff: eyebrow, eye, ear, and head. Okay, so let's do that, and the smile. Okay, so you added an anchor for the smile. That is really great. Okay, awesome. So um, don't ever go into render mode. Render is for like exporting images from the 3D scene. We don't want that. We just need to keep solid. Just press Z in the keyboard and always make sure you are in solid. Okay, so let's export this head, and we export it as GLTF. We make GLTF embedded as a format, and we call it head part, and we export. Well, let's export everything. Everything is enabled, but they're not showing because they are under the head. So I enabled all the parts. They are still visible, but here, as you can see, and I export as GLTF. I choose embedded for the format and head parts, and we export. So here we just take the file that we just exported, which is the head parts, and we just drag it here, and voila, we have our parts here. So to take a look, if you take a look here, you can see that this is the mustache. It has one anchor, which is here, which it's not supposed to be here. This should be 0. Let's fix that. And the mesh is 2. Let's make it 0. And this is the mustache. We move it from here. We don't move it from here because that will mess up the anchor location. So we just move it from the group. So let's move it here. And this is the head part, which these are lights. You can ignore them for now. And these are the things that we want. So these are what are these? So let's check. Okay, I don't think we need them. Let's just remove all these things. We need to take this out of the group. So let's take the first one, which is the head, and I will move it away here. Oh, I think those are. Oh, well, we don't have the preview enabled. I'm not sure why it's bringing those parts here, but let's worry about those later. So this is the head part, and it has another child here, so I will take it back. I will move it again. So this is the inside of our object. This is the same as this one. So this head part, head dash part, is this one, and these are the anchors, and this is the mesh. These are all the anchors, and this is the mesh. So the first thing, let's check if the mesh has 0 in the position and rotation and 1s in scale. So everything is good here. And right after that, we set the right material for the head. We just come here and select mesh tool material. And we set it to a color we like. That color will be changeable by user in the game once this part is up. So I will make it yellow. So this is the head. Looks nice. And now we come to check the anchors. I will check only the first anchor and let you do the rest on your own. So I make a cone shape and I put it in the first anchor, but before that I need to make sure that the position is 0 of the cylinder. So I put it in the ear, and that's cool. The ear is going out. If it was going this way, this is a problem. The anchor should go in the direction that you want the new part to stick to. So this way it's sticking inside. We want it to go outside to place objects on it. So I just reverse what I did, undo, and then I can take the cylinder and move it into other anchors and check that these are the correct orientations. So I will take this out so you can continue working on this file, prepare the eyes, prepare everything, and after you are done, just export scene from here, and this will export a file. This is the file that has all the things that Polly needs to make parts from these files. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's work 10 more minutes on the alphabet library, and then we can continue with a quick QA at the end. So last time we stopped here. We were just trying to fix this Q letter. So let's continue working on that. I want to cut or like do some like trimming on this side and on this side. So let's do that. So I will create, first let me enable the shortcuts. So cursor selected and mesh. Okay, so this is our first cut. So let's add a modifier which is called Boolean, and we want to a difference of this object. Sometimes it doesn't work unless you switch between these two. and we click apply. So now it's cut. We want to cut it on this side as well. So let's just as you can see now, it's still there. We just need to cut it from this one. So again, we do the same difference. We want difference of this object, and we choose the solver to be fast, sorry, and apply. We don't need this anymore. Oh, so here's a problem. I trimmed some of this area. I need to fix that. I need to undo and edit this object to start from the void here. So then I apply, and I don't need this object anymore. And there we have it. We have our queue. Now we just need to clean this mesh. So it's pretty basic. Anything that we don't need, we just dissolve it. Oops, we can't dissolve this one. We need to connect these two before we dissolve. So this and this and this and this. Let's do the other side. Oh, it's already done. That's great. So we dissolve all these edges. This is fine. We don't need these extra bits. Great. Neither this or this. So it looks cleanish now. It's better than before. We just need to make sure that there is it's not working here. So okay, there is a duplicate edge here. We need to fix that. We just delete it, and we have void. Let's connect the missing pieces. So this is the first face where we need one. We dissolve this one. Oops, we dissolve. And let's connect these, dissolve this edge, and that's it. So let's check. Yeah, we have another problem here. Again, a duplicate edge. So we select these three, we hit F. Same here, F, F, and this is the last F. Now our model is better than before. It's cleaner now. There are no additional things. We just need to make it more like similar to this shape. So let's do that. So again, knife tool, and we cut it here. Same for this one. Sometimes you just need to wait for it to snap. You didn't immediately go and cut things. We have a problem here. This is easily fixable with merge. So let's select all, mesh, clean up, merge by distance. It already fixed 4 vertices. Let's increase the distance. Another 4 vertices. And now if we select this, you see that problem is not there anymore. So I think we are good with the letter Q. So we are missing like S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We still have to make 8 letters. That's not a big deal. We can work for that. Let's work on the letter S. The letter S is very simple. We can borrow a letter that looks like or similar to the letter S. I think the letter P is very similar to this, and you will see how in a bit. So let's duplicate B, and this B we will take this curve and we repeat it on the other curve like this. So this is a half, and we repeat it on the bottom like this. Obviously this is inverted, but we can fix that. It's not a big deal. Let me just remove this animation, and let's do it. So let's just select all the faces here. I hold shift and select all the faces, and I hit X and remove faces. And let's fill this area and dissolve these edges. Okay, because we want to keep working on a clean model. These triangles are caused by like the format. When you export from Blender to any format, most of the time it triangulates all the faces that you have. Okay, so let's remove all of these because we don't need them. Let's select all of them like this. If we want to select the other side as well, we turn X-ray from here and select everything and remove faces. We still have something here. We remove everything, and that's it. This is kind of like the half of the S. So we already have like an origin in the middle of the letter. If you look at it this way, please move away. So thank you. So we need to like cut it here and repeat whatever is presented here. So let's do that. So let's move the cursor to this area, which is the center. Change the median point to be cursor or the pivot. SX0. Oops, we didn't choose 3D cursor. We should choose 3D cursor. SX0. Okay, so let's duplicate this object, and I want to rotate it in the y-axis like this. So I will rotate it 180 degrees. Then I move it up until it sits in this area. Now I want to merge these two objects because they are different objects. So I just choose both, select them, and hit Ctrl J on the keyboard, and that will merge them. We have extra stuff here. We just dissolve it. I think it's still here. Yes. So now if we take this, you see like it's not connected, and since both are in the same place, we can just select all, mesh, clean up, merge by distance, and this way now they are one mesh. We don't need these lines, so X, dissolve edges, and there you go. We have the letter S. It's just from the other side, so we just select all of it. Well, just come here, make this 0, and there you have it, letter S. Okay, one final letter, which is an easy letter as well, is the letter I. So Shift D, X. So the letter T is very simple. It's just a letter I, a horizontal letter I on a vertical letter I. That's how I see it. So let's make it identical to the width of like maybe the letter Q, which is the widest letter, Q and O, and maybe M. Yeah, M is the widest, it's 1.5. N as well. So O is 1.25. Let's make it like that. If we want to make it longer, we can. So let's just duplicate R, Y to rotate it 90. Oops, that moved it way here. So let's let's undo and make it median point instead of 3D cursor. So Shift D, RY to rotate in the Y axis by 90 degrees, GZ, and that's it. So let me disconnect this one from this one. I want these two to be separate objects, and you will see why in a bit. So I hit P on the keyboard and I say selection. Now I have two objects. This one's width is 1.5. We want it to be 125 instead of 1.5. This is better. And this way we mess with the scale of this one without affecting this one. Now we want to merge it back, so we apply the scale and select the two and hit Control J. You notice there is a big problem was here because these two faces appear in the same 3D space. So we want to take them down a little bit. So because we don't want Z fighting to happen, so we select these two edges and put them here. So this is looking great. We have an extra face inside that no one will see. Let's remove it. It's inside, and that's it. This is the letter T. Okay, now I will stop and listen to you if you have any questions, and we will continue working on the letters tomorrow.